Greetings and welcome to Dev Update video number 5. As you can see, quite a lot has changed. Well, I mean, my clothes have changed and I've stuck a HTC Vive on my face. A model of a HTC Vive on my face, I should say. There's always been a real Vive on my real face, but that's beside the point. It's been a couple of weeks since my last update video and quite a lot has happened. I've been away on holiday for a week. I know, a week's holiday off the back of having had parents up to visit. It's a wonder I've managed to get anything done at all, and yet I have. Even when I was on holiday, in fact, even though I was in the land that the internet forgot, I had my tablet with me and I was doing quite a lot of work on the background and the lore, trying to make everything make some sort of sense. It's all tied together now as part of the same alternate history that Kratos was. I've kind of extended the Kratos alternate history back to the Second World War. I've introduced some alien tech and things to accelerate mankind on and out into the solar system, and eventually on to a new star, which is where this game will take place. So it's going to be part of the same continuum, in an ideal world, maybe a whole series of games based on it, which I'll come to in a second. But first, I want to talk about the outfit. Why a wizard's outfit? I mean, am I going to have space wizards? That wizard's just a crazy old man? Is that what you're saying? It probably is. And you'd be right. I'm not intending to have space wizards. I may include the robe just because people may choose to wear robes even though they're not wizards. I've heard that happens. Or indeed as a kind of Easter egg. It's not very good at the moment, by the way. It's my first attempt at clothing, and as you can see, I've got all sorts of issues with like twisting, causing the sleeves to collapse and getting it to track properly and things. But, you know, for a first effort at making clothing, frankly, I don't think it's too bad. I've been doing a lot of modeling over the last couple of weeks. Well, the last week especially, since I got back from holiday. And this is in amongst it. But the reason why I did that is because I've kind of come to the conclusion that it's time to do a complete rebrand. It's time to officially refocus the channel on as a support tool for this game and this game series and my dev work and stuff in general. So, and that kind of comes off the back of I've got a Patreon account, which I've not really, publicized a lot or made a lot of noise. There's a kind of a list at the end of the Patreon backers, and they've sort of slowly been dwindling down over the last year or so since I kind of stopped really putting in as much effort as I was before into the gameplay, into the sort of, the entertainment gameplay side of the channel. Like, if you weren't around back then, at one point I was putting out a video basically every day, 20-30 minute odd videos that including editing probably were 3 or 4 hours work each. So I was investing a lot of time and energy in trying to build the channel out, and I had a lot of fun doing it, but it just didn't leave room to spend a lot of time doing development. And as I decided that's where both my passion lay and also, realistically a better financial return hopefully also lays, like that's where I've been kind of like putting my effort over the last year or so, and I thought it was time to officially acknowledge that, rebrand the channel, which has been in need of it frankly since since it originally got its little bit of branding that I did when I don't know, it was like 6 months after I first created it or something. I've got that banner up, or I had that banner up with the temporary banner. Can you do better? Please contact me. And it has been temporarily there for what, like 2 years or something. My video, my little channel trailer, is like the video I created when I hit 100 subscribers, which, I mean, again, that's like two plus years old, I think. So anyway, the time has come to kind of focus on all of that kind of thing. So that's where a lot of my attention has been going in this last week, and that's why I created a 3D wizard's outfit for myself, because I decided to do away with my old logo, my old little wizard guy, and as I'm, I guess, moderately better at 3D modeling than I am at creating 2D artwork, and I say moderately because I do not claim to be in any way a particularly skilled 3D artist, but at least I can kind of, I can slowly improve and I can iterate on things and I can kind of visualize and create things a little bit better in 3D than I can in 2D. So I decided to create myself a wizard's outfit, and I kind of use this as the channel branding, use a lot of the assets from the game development and stuff like that in doing sort of a new banner and things. I've actually got a little mock-up. We'll go over here. Oh, by the way, this room, we'll kind of get to this room in a minute. This is the latest spaceship that I've been working on. So it's Yeah, I mean it's in default grey at the moment because it's completely it's just completely still a work in progress. I don't take too much from it, but we'll go over here. Look, and this. By the way, I don't know if this is like really like a really like genius or just a bit kind of crazy, but rather than just putting these pictures up in editing into the thing, I decided to stick them on walls and put them in my virtual room, in my virtual spaceship, in my game, in order to show you during a dev update video. Does that make me crazy? I don't know, maybe it does. Anyway, look, here we go. So it probably doesn't. It probably means that it's not the best in terms of quality, but this is sort of the work in progress channel banner, which I'm going to put up. So as you can see, look, I can actually Weird Wizard Dave, gamer, developer. I've got kind of a little sort of tagline along the bottom of kind of the things that I will be focusing the channel on. So like VR chat, general VR enthusiast stuff. I really want to big up VR as a technology. It's where a lot of my passion at the moment about gaming is focused. So I think doing more about that when I create gaming videos, focusing on VR ones and focusing on showcasing the best that's out there of VR, maybe talking about the VR tech that's available and things, my own thoughts, my own development perspective on working with VR, that kind of stuff, that gaming, and I thought about making that just purely VR gaming, but I'm going to leave it as gaming in general because I don't want to pigeonhole myself, say that I will never do another 2D game, but you can expect it to be primarily focused on VR, probably. Game dev, of course, and Worlds Above. But the name, okay, so I've kind of narrowed it down to, as a series name, Worlds Above or Space Out. Thanks, a shout out goes to Andy Murray, by the way, who suggested Space Out. I really like Space Out. I kind of really like Worlds Above as well, and I can't decide. Anyway, let's go over here. I've mocked up a couple of posters, and these are not really intended to be an indication of what the final artwork might be like, because I did them literally in about half an hour before I started recording this video. But it's to it's to help visualize and to see what people think about the names and what sort of stands out to them. I've called this game Tantalus. Now again, that's very tentative at the moment. Tantative's like this ancient Greek mythological figure who was kind of cursed to like live for eternity and stuff, and it kind of ties into the backstory a bit with the way the aliens are involved and the way this solar system kind of is separated from Earth, and the people who come here are going to get stuck here. But I don't want to get into the details of that, and again, Tantalus is tentative. It's the series title which is primarily of importance right now. So here we go. Here's a couple of posters. The basic poster is basically the same for each of them, but we've got Worlds Above like that, and then we've got Worlds Above like that, just different font or different way of using the font. Then we've got this one here, Space Out, Tantalus, and indeed, for completeness, Space Out using the other font style. I mean, I think this is quite cool, this sort of outliney type thing, but I don't know. I mean, if there's any design people out there who feel like giving me any tips or pointers, or generally saying, man, that's like so 90s, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, considering that is probably going to be more or less when this game is set. But the series title is going to be slightly more expansive. That can afford to be a little bit timeless, I guess. Timeless? Yeah, maybe? I don't know. So that's kind of it. I mean, those are the main things that I kind of wanted to talk about today. I suppose I could show you around the unfinished. I don't know what's going on with my robes, by the way. Like, they're like ballooning out when I walk. It balloons out. Yeah, like I say, it's all very work in progress. This is going to be in fact, I think I'll title this video "Work in Progress" rather than anything fancy or clever. And just, this is the bridge. So this is quite a big ship, at least big compared to the little shuttle that I did before. It's kind of Corvette sized if you want to compare it to a real world ship, like a real world seagoing ship or something like that. So it's got a fairly substantial bridge here. There's nothing in it yet, apart from a few, like, you know, my standard set of controls. Just the same old ones that are going everything at the moment. But nonetheless, I quite like it. I quite like it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I won't show you the outside because it's not done yet. So that's it for today's dev update video. Just a quick one, really. There hasn't been a huge amount of in-game stuff. Well, I say that. I mean, there's this massive new ship, but it's very much work in progress. And indeed, hopefully by the next video, I'll have some more and better clothing to show off that doesn't inflate whilst I'm in space. I mean, you know, bugs, game development. It's crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy. I've been doing a lot of work on the 3D models and stuff in the game. It's starting to dawn on me just how many 3D models and things I'm going to have to produce. So I'm going to have to get my head down and really start cranking out some of this stuff so that I can use it to build the game and things. So there'll probably be more videos on that in the future. And indeed, of course, on everything else. And watch out for that channel rebrand that'll be coming in the near future. If you're interested in supporting the game and the game's development, then I will be putting out some stuff about that and the way that Patreon backers can get involved with the game development in the future. But until then, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I have been Weird Wizard, and I will see you later.